Baby mama on me. I'm still pursuing it. Getting kicked out the house, I'm still pursuing it. Like, I never let nothing stop me. If I got an idea, I'm gonna do it right there. I just never gave up. So, I mean, that just brought me to this point right now, you know? So, that's how I found my way. Just keep going. You know?
Project. But for me, Professor McBean and I were just talking about this a little earlier, and Tay kind of touched on it too. I didn't choose journalism, it chose me. And being that this industry is so multifaceted, you can go in 101 different directions. I knew that I wanted to do something in front of the camera, but I allowed myself the opportunity to try everything. I did radio, I did television. I worked for the Herald here with my great friend and colleague, Tar Rogers. And I really just submersed myself in anything that I could to really identify what it was that I truly wanted. And then I looked at my personal characteristic traits to see, does this align? And then it just went from there. God placed people and opportunities in my place that just confirmed what I already knew. And yeah, here we are.
Mike Prince.
How y'all doing? I like the question, you know, because I'm a guy with many hats. So it's never like one thing, you know, we manifest many things and we do many things, you know. I've been in the entertainment business for many years. I do sports and everything, but I just wanted to do something that I enjoy doing. You know what I'm saying? You know, they say find you something that you don't feel like that is a job, but it becomes a job. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know, because in my position, I have other people lives and it's responsibility and I have to guide them and it falls on your shoulder. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that gets stressful, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, me personally, no matter what I do, whether I'm doing it for someone personally or if I'm doing it for the community, I just ask God to order my steps. You know what I'm saying? And that keeps me balanced. And everything after that just comes after that. You know, so my thing is keeping God first in all that I do.
It's respectable. Yeah, you got to show him that nice blazer, Ms. Dawn Brooks.
How many of you want to be successful? It's a lot of the room. Okay. How many of you know that you have to fail your way to success?
Yeah.
Those challenges that you go to raise the bar. They build your character. At the time of adversity, you're questioning, why me? The real question is, why not you? Okay? So finding your way is important, but simultaneously, it's important that you stay consistent in the things that you're good in. Your passion is something that you would do for free. See, many are called, but not all are chosen, okay? You have, each and every one of you have a specific task that's designed for you. It's your calling. You trained to do something and you called to do something. What I had the opportunity to do in my life is to bring my talents, radio, television, and film. Who knows KTSU 2? I built that. We built that. I was assistant program director with Professor Val, Radio Rich.
Okay.
We trained up so many students coming up. And I had the opportunity to work with so many students and make a difference in what radio looked like. When I came back to grad school, I wanted to learn production. So if you're in radio, learn production. Because as a talent, you will lose. Personalities go all the time. That prime time ain't always prime time. If that station go down, can you bring it back up? Yes, I can. I can work the board. I can show you how to work the microphone. And I can show you how to have your questions proposed to who you need to. The thing is, you want to be the light, you got to be the back. You see, I'm the last. I was the last yesterday, but God told me in this season, I'm coming first, okay?
Amen.
That's real.
When you're flourishing in your passion, one thing will lead to another. Sometimes those yeses aren't meant for you to be in those doors, but those no's, let me say that again. Sometimes the no's aren't meant for you to be in the door. But when you're on the right path, the Lord says, the good word says, I, the Lord, at the right time will make it happen. But stay consistent. One thing about me that I failed, little me, that I'm looking at right now, is I wasn't consistent. All those accolades I have, I failed my way to success. And again, I've always been behind the scenes. okay? But learn everything. Learn your talents, learn your gifts, learn how to use them. And also the good book says he will make room for your gifts.
Is it okay if I
The
add?
doors of the church
I was
open.
can I add real quick?
Can we pass the,
Real quick,
Can we
can
get
I
another
add?
round of applause? Another round of applause,
Real quick.
please.
Okay.
pass the collection plate?
I just want to add on to what you said real quick because it came over my spirit. I didn't know we was going to talk about God up here, but also, delayed does not mean denied. I'm going to say that again. Delayed does not mean denied. Y'all, I was crying when I saw the flyer yesterday because I was like, I've been working and working and working, and I thought that God would never see the seeds that I sowed and they growing. But also remember, different seeds grow at different times. Some things grow underground, and then you got to go. You got to go and pick it. So remember, just because you delayed don't mean you denied. So keep going.
I just want to piggyback off of that because honestly,
I'm
I'm so
piggybacking next.
happy to be here today because I've spoken on this panel for years, and I feel like every time I've been up here, it's been a season of me winning, and I have such a great testimony. I got to give a shout out to Ernest Walker in the back because you asked the question, how do you find your voice? I'm 30 navigating my career. I'm still finding my voice. I got laid off. I had to ask myself, do I still want to do this? You know what I'm saying? And so when you say, you know, I'm applying and nothing is coming through, and finally God lined it up at the perfect time. So y'all, it's power in the pivot. Like, I just wanted to add to that little nugget right there. But yes, you just got to stay the course, stay the course.
Let me piggyback. No.
You gonna piggyback? I was
They said it
I was
all.
gonna say, open your books to the book of Deuteronomy
Come on now.
while we here. No, I'm good.
Thank y'all for that spiel. I took it. Who took it? I took it. We took it. Okay. So, my next question for you panelists, and this is a personal question. Okay? So, we live in a time where everything moves lightning speed. I cannot keep up. I can't keep up. So, have you seen the media landscape change? And if so, how do you yourself keep up? And also, how do you stay relevant, but also not try to give into all of the trends?
I think that
Go ahead.
journalism has changed tremendously since I got in the business at 20. I'm 30. And the formula that we were told to follow is not the same formula. You know, I began my career being taught, go do your small market, go to your medium market, then you can come back to your large market. And so I followed that formula, and by the time it was time for me to come home, I'm seeing ABC 13, KPRC, like top 10 markets hiring kids fresh out of college, no offense. But it's like y'all telling us to follow, you know, this formula, and this formula isn't working. So first you have to identify when something is not working for you. Okay, be solution oriented. Let's change it up. What do we need to do? Prime example, I'm gonna use myself as a testimony here. My primary role in my career has been reporting. All my professors back there, they can tell you, Paige walked in the door and said, I want to be a reporter. But I had to pivot because those roles wasn't available when I came home. I had to be a producer. So you go from being on air, you know, I never got in this industry to be on TV. I got to help, to empower, to educate, to give representation for Black and brown people that look like us. But I would be lying if I said, you know, when I decided to come off air, it didn't take a hit to my ego. You know what I'm saying? So I say all of this to say, like, you just gotta be real with yourself, and you just gotta ride with the tides. And like you alluded to earlier, now I can produce, I can write, I can anchor, I can shoot, I can edit, I can damn near do everything but technical direct. But you know, that's just me. I just had to adopt and say, okay, this isn't working for me. This is the industry I want to be in. Maybe I need to take a backdoor way to get in there.
Can I get the next? So, okay, so since you said this is personal, I'm going to get a little personal. I feel like if you graduated high school in 2020, it's like we keep getting hit with a bunch of just ridiculousness. First is COVID. I didn't get a graduation. I didn't get a prom. And then I start college. We only get 3 months in the first semester. Then they saying COVID coming back when I'm trying to graduate college. And now everything is more expensive when I'm an adult. And then growing up, you're told that as a journalist, everybody needs to report the facts, and now it's like the big markets, everybody giving their opinion. And so I'm like, it's like everything has changed now that it's like my time to get in it. And so now it's like navigating the fact that where did it all shift to where the media is now giving their opinions, where people think it's normal for reporters to give their opinions and that be law, when it's supposed to be you tell the who, what, when, where, why, and the facts. And I feel like it's messing up the way of things and how news should be. And the way people look at national news, because I'm a local reporter, and so that makes people look at the local news like, well, y'all are saying this, but they're saying this, but we're locally telling the facts of everything that happened on both sides because that's what we're taught to do. And so now that I feel like with the way this country is going and all the opinions and like journalists being silenced and kicked out the White House, and it's just like, I feel like our generation's got it's like a new hit every other year. And it's like you just got to figure out how to navigate through it while still like staying true to those core truths as a journalist and as a person as well. Because, baby, if I gave my opinion on that local station, they would lose their mind. They would lose their mind.
I'm going to say this, and it's piggybacks off a page when she said staying true to yourself, right? If it's personal. So back in the day, I could say, I had a opportunity to pitch a show at BET, right? Back in the day when BET had a bunch of local shows. And I get the call, I get flown up, I get to walk in the executive's office, right? And I'm nervous and I'm trying to break the ice. And I walk in and she had a bunch of demos, right? Just like we got a bunch of resumes in this room. And so I'm trying to just break the ice and I go, whoa, man, somebody got to go through all of this. And she looked at me in my face and she goes, I'm not looking at none of this, right? You too? She goes, I'm not looking at all of this. And I'm like, wow, right? I'm not looking at all y'all resumes. She told me these words. She goes, if you make enough noise, we'll call you, right? So we live in an era where you got your phone and all of your platforms, right? If you walk into an office now, and like you just said, man, people are hiring people fresh out of college based on who they are before they get there, right? So if you make enough noise, they'll call you. Your resume don't matter. Like, I really believe in no such thing as a hiring freeze when you him or her, all right?
I believe that in this time of like AI, we're in a time of AI, it gives us sufficiency in time by leveraging integrations through social media platforms. When I first started my marketing agency, we were doing things very traditional in social media. And then we learned how to do integrations. What I mean by that is, okay, we need a post. We can schedule posts. ChatGPT done had a baby with Canva. Do you know it used to take 3 months, three days to create a logo for a client? Cause branding, I'm like, my strong thing is if you tell me something, God speaks to me. I spoke to a young lady yesterday, and I said, this is what I told her. I said, you having a grand opening this year? She said, yes, in June or May. I said, you know we didn't talk about that, right? She was giving something. She said, dreams to reality. I said, what is that? She said, I was just speaking. I said, no, that's your nonprofit. And her for-profit business is to have, she's a shoemaker. And so I said, she wants to, give back to mothers who are single mothers. And I said, Dreams to Reality is your nonprofit. And also your shoe line, they're following your steps. That's your marketing strategy, right? So when I used to do we used to 3 days to do the logos. Let me get back on the point. Now we put it in Canva and it gives an idea. We went from 3 days to 2 hours. Leverage AI. It helps you not only integrate all the social platforms and schedule our posts. We got a 3-month campaign coming up. Okay, we need to get this 90 days scheduled out. We already know the play. We're going to have backgrounds. We cross-market. We're going to have all the banners. We're going to have all the stuff that the clients need to promote their campaign. When that campaign launches, guess what's automating it? AI. Leverage your time, okay? Success isn't measured to me by money, nothing monetary. But it's the time. It's a choice to have a slow morning. It's a choice to spend time with my 94-year-old father. And that's important, okay? So now I ask God, make room for my gifts. But I need the time and the substantiability, but less of the time to do the work, but more of the time to systemate and process, okay? Systemate, automate, process. You have to have a clear definition of how to execute something. You start it, you execute it. Persistence.
We're about to transition into our next question. With that being, as a community, we've battled with negative portrayals in media for decades. Being misrepresented, being misunderstood, or just being left out altogether. Talk about how you all use your platforms and your respective careers to push positive representation for minorities, and how can we be more intentional coming up in the industry to do the same?
Can I answer that first?
Yeah, go ahead. I would love for you to answer.
I've been in my career as a multimedia journalist for about 10 months now. And I'm the only black person on TV at that station. All the other black people are like behind the scenes, so people don't know that they're there. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, every other month I'm like, I'm quitting this, I'm done, I'm sick, I can't do it no more. And I've moved to an area that it's not a lot of black and brown people at all, and they all stay on one side of town, and I didn't know that. I stay on the side of town where don't nobody look like me. And one day I was like, you know what, like I don't think I can do this anymore. And then I went cover this event for the Waco Independent School District, and it was like this women's summit for all the girls in middle school and high school, and they were all coming up to me and was like, we're so glad to finally see somebody that looks like us in this area on TV, because none of the other stations have that. And so they like, that moment right there made me realize, okay, I'm here for a reason, because baby, I wanted to go. I was like, why am I going 3 hours away to this little town that I didn't even know how to pronounce? I thought it was called Waco, but apparently it's Waco. And because we aren't as represented, I did a story on the importance of natural hair. But before I pitched that idea, I was like, I need to come with every single reason as to why this needs to go on air, so they can't even question me and just try to like sit it to the side. Because when I first started there, I was just giving ideas. I wasn't really giving story pitches because I didn't know how to like build it up to actually be a story. And so whenever the day came where I was like, I'm ready, I know it's gonna make it, I had who I'm interviewing with, why is it important, what time I'm interviewing with them, where are we doing, what the visual's gonna look like. I had everything written down so that my news director couldn't, if you tell me no, then what's the real reason you telling me no? Because I just gave you the meat, potatoes, everything about this story. And so I feel like that's how I'm trying my best to make sure that our voices are heard and that our stories are shared, other than just Black History Month. Granted, I did in Black History Month because I'm like, if you deny it this month, then that's crazy. But aside from February, I've just been working my hardest to tell our stories. If they send me out to events, like if they assign me to a story, I'm looking for who here is black or brown. Because we need to be on TV for other than things or shootings or homicides. We need more positive stories. And so that's how I'm just trying to make sure that we're seen and that our voices are heard and appreciated in the Central Texas area.
That was great. Actually, the next person to answer this, could we get Mike Prince to answer, because he actually works with the youth and works on enriching the community with the youth.
Again, I think that me personally, I like to, you say do what, brother? Can you stand up? You want me to stand up?
Yeah, they want to get you on the camera.
Can y'all see me? I'm short. Me personally, man, I'm always looking for a way to assist others. You know, whether it's in the music business, whether it's in the community. You know, it's always, I was taught it's better to serve than be served. You know, and we done got so far away from that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is about self. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's their career, whether it's their livelihood, it's all about the self. And they want to know why they're not flourishing or growing. You know what I'm saying? You know, you as a individual, you're that individual, but we have a greater purpose. You know, and once you discover what that purpose is, then you're supposed to share that with others. That's the only way you can really get the real benefit, you know what I'm saying, and really be blessed, is by assisting others. You know, so when I'm in the community, in the prisons, you know what I'm saying, because people make mistakes. You know what I'm saying, me as young adults, as kids, and as adults. You know, should we say, okay, forget them? You know, many people will look at me and be like, oh, that's Rap A Lot Records, that's Mike Prince. But many people don't know I went to prison when I was 16. You see what I'm saying? It's about choices. You know, it's about choices, and many people didn't know that. You know, so going through that experience and understanding that, Mike, it's a bigger picture than you. You know what I'm saying? Because my decision got me there, and I accept accountability for that. You know what I'm saying? So once I realized, man, it's bigger than you, that allowed me to look beyond myself and assist others.
You still on the same question?
Most definitely.
You gonna give it to me again? Listen, we was over here trying to figure it out. What was the question again?
So the question was, how do you negate a lot of the bad rep that we get as minorities in the media, on the internet, on the news, on TV? And what are some ways that we can be intentional about owning our own narrative coming up in the industry? A lot of the people out here in the crowd.
Ooh.
I got an answer for it, but go ahead.
I can. I mean, in my field, I do comedy, so art imitate life, right? So most of my content is what I didn't seen before. I'm from the neighborhood, so I do a lot of stuff that like damn, like it's real life. I didn't seen it. The way I try to put it in a good light is I'm putting a mirror to us. I'm like, look at this. This is how you look. This is how you look in front of everybody, in front of your family, in front of your peers, and I don't know. Like that's the way I get a message out, and hopefully people take it as like I don't want to look like that no more. I try to have messages in my content, but in real life I try to be the person that stand for something, and that's how I do it, But in my field, art imitate life, so I just try to put a mirror to the people, and that's it.
I'll touch on it real quickly so we can keep the conversation going. I think for me, it's just about showing up as the best version of myself every day. Similar to Zoria, when I was a reporter working at CBS in Austin, I too was the only black woman on air, and I was the go-to black girl if something happened in the black community. Paige, what you think about this? I'm like, well, hell, what y'all think about it? God damn it. But in all seriousness, I think it starts there with just giving a positive representation. We get a lot of negative stereotypes placed on us as black and brown people, and then professionally, it's about advocating for our stories, advocating for our voices, not allowing your voice to be silenced. Don't, let your news director or whomever your superior is in your environment, your work environment, make you feel like you shouldn't fight for this story. I cannot tell y'all, let's use TSU, for example. I love my school. And I had a conversation, I hope Tracy don't mind me saying this, but I had a conversation with Tracy Clemens, earlier, because I made a comment, sometimes TSU was only in the news when it's negative. And he was like, no, maybe a few years ago, for example, the shooting that happened. People were saying, oh, it's a shooting at TSU. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like not even in the newsroom yet, texting my producer like, hey, let's be sure we frame this correctly. It happened near TSU. You know what I'm saying? So I used that situation that happened the other day as an example to speak up. You control the narrative. You hold the pen. It's your voice. You know what I'm saying? So be accountable for yourself. Represent yourself the best way, and pitch stories that actually matter. It's an incredible responsibility to do what we get to do, whether you're a comedian, whether you in ministry, do multiple things, marketing. It's an incredible responsibility to have this platform. Do something with it and make an impact. Show up for your people.
All I need is 30 seconds, really. And I want to go talk about a subject we all want is money. Right? Anybody want some money, right? In their career field. If you really want some money in your career field, and this is communication and broadcasting, if you push positivity, I promise you there's an avenue for you, right? We just came back, you still ain't Mr. Walker in here, we just came back from Vegas, and we sat in a panel. Y'all know who Darman is? Y'all know the name Dar? He talked about the platform when he first started it. He said he didn't crack 100 views. And then he flipped his format, and he started pushing positivity on kids, on the youth, and y'all see where he is today, right? I just said in the beginning, man, when I first started in radio, I was in mainstream hip-hop, right? And no diss to it, because I still love mainstream hip-hop. But if you look at your playlist right now, it's a lot of gloom and doom on that, right? Just be honest with yourself. Some of our favorite rappers, it's a lot of gloom and doom, right? But how much of it is just straight positivity? It's always a lane in that. If y'all really trying to get to some bread and get to a career, push positivity. It's out there, I promise.
Especially in this climate, we need it. That's all. I don't need to say. We need positivity.
Y'all go. Well, I'm gonna just pick off of what Mr. Marcus said. Definitely. Look, I gotta stop calling you Mr. Marcus. I'm sorry, Marcus.
Yeah, she did call me Mr. Marcus, right?
It's the respect. That's real southern. But I just want to say what he said. The pushing positivity, like that's what made me start True Tuesday. Positivity go a long way, and it's just not a lot of it in the world today. Like you said, when they give out reports about TSU and things like that, they don't say that. They say that it was at TSU and it was near TSU and things like that. So, like you said, I just want to piggyback and say, definitely push positivity. Like I started a segment called Truth Talk Challenge, and it was just having young people from like different colleges and things like that just speak their truth, but through positivity. So that was pretty much it.
I would, and just to piggyback off of the panelists as well, we all are storytellers in our industry, whether you're radio, television, or film. So you find the story that aligns with your lane. Create a lane for yourself. And we are the majority, not the minority. Hello. Because when you think about, I'm not trying to get political, but if you think about the abortion law, that's not for us, okay? We don't kill our babies. They want us to stop populating. So in that case, by being journalism and communication majors, find a story that makes an impact for you and your lane. Create your lane of positivity in everything that they said. But your story, okay, is the story. So how do you produce that story? How do you execute that story? You find the way. You find your way, and I'll you.
That was great. So before we get out of here, you know, we got this 40-inch flat screen behind us. We are doing a giveaway. We're doing 2 giveaways. I'm not gonna tell y'all the other one yet. But we wanna prepare the students for success, right? And this is another kind of touchy subject, you know, your family. As you scale up in life, you have to stop being friends with a lot of people. And not even saying have to, it's like it's almost forced. Your family may do certain things to you because of who you've become, and they just might not look at you the same. So let's talk about how you've all navigated and balanced your family life with growing in your careers, and how do you basically navigate that?
Testimony for me. When I began my career, my family would, and I don't want to say this, but I'm going to just be real with it. I'm going to say my family is very supportive. I love my family. I would not be the woman I am if they did not support me. However, when I began my career, I faced so much opposition and like, you think you can do that? My own grandmother was like, girl, you talk flat like Beyonce. You think you're going to be on the news? You think somebody going to put you on the news? I faced negativity for chasing my dream. And in my heart, respectfully, but y'all, I'm going to continue to do what God told me to do. And I'm a little raw, so I don't want to disrespect nobody by cursing. I'm just real with myself. God put it in my heart. You know what I'm saying? If you and God have a conversation, that's between you and God. It don't have to make sense to nobody else. So early on, like literally moments where people were trying to sabotage me, I pushed through and I distanced myself. It sucks, but you know, I can't be out in the club with the girls out and drinks in my hand, you know, and I'm trying to be on TV the next morning and be clear and have my full wits. I can't be at half-mast. And if your friends cannot align themselves or understand or even respect, if they can't respect what you got going on, them not your friends. So that would be my advice. If God put a dream in your heart, that's between you and God, and you hold on to it. You hold on to it. If the people in your life are not encouraging you, are not supporting you to run faster and greater towards your goals, get a new group of friends. I've been able to get in rooms and connections because of relationships and people Professor McBean, like everybody, Mr. Walker, like I can name drop so many people in this room. Murray, Sabrina Walker, she not in here because they saw something in me that I did not see in myself. You need people around you, and you don't need yes men. I have friends that'll check me like, girl, you crashed out on that one, now you know better. So, you know, it can be hard, but you just gotta make the best decision for you and ask yourself, what do I want my life to look like? What do I want my life to look like? And don't go along with anything that's gonna take you away from that vision.
Can I go next? I just wanted to say that, and this is something that I had to learn, you can't be afraid of the isolation. And I realized that God was moving me to a place by myself because that's where I needed to be. I'm 6 hours from my family that live in Louisiana. God knows how long from my family in Phoenix, and 3 hours from everybody that I've known here. But it's like, sometimes you're moved away from everybody so that he can work on you and help you see the actual purpose that you're making. And my first 6 months, y'all was crying every night. It was bad. I was crying every night. It was just me and my air mattress the first few months. I was like, I got an apartment and a job. That's all that mattered. And I just had to realize that sometimes the isolation is to help you become great. And it's difficult. Like, soon as I moved, I'm like, dang, I was coming back to Houston every other weekend because I'm like, I feel like I'm missing out on everything with my friends, with, like, the family that I've made out here. Even, like, personally with my father, I don't talk to that man. But soon as he see me on TV, now he just bragging about it all on social media. I'm like, sir, we ain't talking who knows how long. But just, I will say for anybody graduating, post-grad depression is real, especially when you're moved out by yourself and you know nobody. So just take that time with yourself and just realize why are you in that moment? Why are you in this place? And once you learn how to navigate through it, you're going to end up exactly where you need to be when it's the right time.
I just got 3 words for that. I know she used family and friends. Everybody can't go. All right? Everybody can't go. Everybody can't go. The reason why I say that is I walked to my first radio station on 9/11 as an intern, right? On 9/11 was my first day in radio. Some people weren't even born. But watch this. 24, 25 years later, my mom and my grandma are still waiting on me to get my first job. See what I mean? When you start chasing your dream and your passion, everybody can't go. All right? That's all I got.
I just wanted to say distance, kind of like you were saying. Distance really helped. And I always tell my friends and family, well, my friends for sure, that sometimes just being away can be the best thing. And even though family is family, sometimes those can be the same people that hold you back and hold you down. I'm originally from Conroe, and so that's only like an hour away. Yeah, I'm originally from Conroe, and that's like an hour away, but I'm also like the head honcho of my family. So everybody looked to me, so I knew that I had to be away from y'all because sometimes you have to do something you've never done to get something that you never had. I think that's how I go. But so I had to get away. And then I also had to understand that your blood family is gonna always be your blood family, but you can make your own family. And that goes back to what you said, where friends are gonna keep changing, because if you plan on keep evolving, those people will keep changing. Because I know, at least for me, I like iron sharpen iron. So I want somebody that knows more than me, that's better than me, so I can learn from you. But I just wanna say, like, family can sometimes hold you back. I know a lot of people be like, but that's my mama, but that's my sister, but that's my brother, but that's the same thing that's holding you back. And it goes back also to where I said sometimes being delayed does not mean, denial does not mean delayed. And God put in my spirit last night that sometimes the people and things that you have around you could be delaying you too. So you gotta let go to get to that next level.
They said it all. But now I got 3 words though. Elevation requires separation. You came in this world by, yo, what? You gonna leave by yourself. You gotta do what you supposed to do to advance. You know what I'm saying? I've been isolated for so long. I done turned down so many parties, so many da-da-das and you feel me? So if you want to elevate, you got to do this and stay consistent. Get up every day and do what you got to do. That's point blank. If you don't, guess what you going to do? All right. All right.
You
That's
have-
it. It's simple. Life gonna teach you quick, for real.
You have different types of people. You know what I'm saying? Some people look for that acclamation. They look for that confirmation. You know what I'm saying? Then you have some people that really know what they want to do and they're going to do it. It's not necessarily family. It's not necessarily friends. When you're focusing, you locked in, you locked in. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. And I always been that type of person. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't looking for agreement. I wasn't looking for, yeah, do that, do that. You know what I'm saying? I do that. You know what I'm saying, man? Anybody that knows on my Instagram handle, they say, Mike Prince, I do this. They like, what you do? I do many things. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just going to do it. I don't wait, because you will be stagnated by those you love, and they kind of confuse you. Like, why you not down with me? Why you not supporting me? You know what I'm saying? But as much time as it take to try to figure out why, you could have been doing it. So y'all, you know. Yeah.
I'm going to say isolation, solitude. Solitude builds character. When you're going through solitude, you will change. And you have to evolve with changing. That means the people that are around you change. My family is my family, and they have to be that way. I don't like you, but I love you. But my mentor over here gonna help me get to success. Get you a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Get
my
you a
mentor
mentor.
is down there.
A mentor is gonna get you to where you need to be, because you are trailblazing behind what they have already created, an avenue for you to come down. Okay? So all the mistakes I made, me failing my way to success, it took me 15 years, but baby girl, I can get you there in 3 weeks to 6 weeks. You just gotta be coachable, you gotta listen, and we gotta go. Okay? That's if you want it. I ain't gonna take my time, because my time is valuable. Okay? My time, you can get money back, you could get friends back, family members back, but baby, you cannot get my time back. And when I finish with this, I'm gonna have to go see my father because he's in the hospital. So, I yield.
I do just want to pick up on the mentor thing, because that's why I always agree to come back to Comm Week very quickly, because sitting where y'all once sat changed my life. Like, I graduated in 2018. I can't even do the math. I'm a journalist, so I'm not an accountant. But anyways, I was back there, and Nakia Cooper, she's not here, but if y'all know Nakia Cooper, I gotta shout out to Nakia Cooper, because that woman helped me change my life. So mentorship, I don't know if this is one of the questions, but it is so important. I would not be where I am if it wasn't for mentors just pouring into me. So.
And real quick, your mentors around here, they're your professors, okay? They work in your industry. Utilize Professor Murray, Ernest Walker, Mr. Sullivan. These are my radio people I'm looking at. Who else? Everybody that works in SOC. My mentor, Val Wilson. Who else? Randall. Townsend. Zantel Nichols. Get in their brain and pick it. You got access. Use the access that you have at your fingertips. Do you know when I was in school, we didn't have what y'all have? Y'all better go make you some podcasts and get you some cameras and create your content. We didn't, well, radio station, go build. SOC has resources. Utilize your resources. Did you know that y'all have a journal? Did you know that y'all also have a magazine? Go get your stuff published in SOC stuff. You leverage your resources, okay? And other people's population to get where you need to be. And other people's money too. That's another story for another day. But use the resources around you. Take a look. Twin back there. Twin, hey twin. Now he comes back and he gives back. Miss Hubbard, right here. Me, I used to be in your seat. So use your resources.
One more round of applause for our panelists. So, we're about to move pretty fast because we have a media festival coming up next. A film festival. But at this time, we like to welcome a few SGA reps up to the stage. They're gonna do our first giveaway. It's gonna be a TSU trivia question. They'll be led by Taylor.
Can I participate? I know everything about TSU. Can I participate?
I just wanted the TV.
Hello. Look, I want the TV.
Hey, while they transitioning, the Vibe is on campus here. It's our hip-hop station. And we're in our membership. We just talked about access and elevating. If anybody really want to have some access to the artists and to the stuff that we do, come see me after this. I'll tell you how, all right? We're in the middle of our campaign that started today, all right? Come see me after this.
All right, good evening, everybody. Once again, give it up for these amazing panelists. One more time, give it up for them. And I couldn't just introduce myself. My name is Taylor Zanders, and I humbly serve as a sophomore class senator. Right next to me is Travion Woods. That is our senior class senator and our pro temp. And right next to him is Aaliyah. That is our junior class senator. So give it up for them as well.
All right, y'all, what are the mascots' names?
Kool-Aid.
Wait. It's three. It was three. Okay, there's three questions? Oh, no. Oh, there's three names? Okay. Who we picking? Okay, they got a call.
No, you don't. Right there with...
Hold on. I got a question. When y'all added Lex?
And so the big prize, now it's time for the big prize, the flat screen, you know? Okay. Can we get a picture of the winner really quick?
It must be a travel time. Lex must be a travel time.
While they wait, did I tell y'all the Vibe is a hip-hop station on your campus right now?
I got a show
just
on the
letting you
Vibe,
know.
too, every Sunday, 8 p.m.
Okay.
to 10 p.m. Yeah, Taylor got one, too. Shout out
He
to
got
my
a
brother
show.
Taylor.
He got a
Shout out
show.
to
She on the
Dr.
show.
O. Shout out to Dean
Come see
Ulasi
me.
and the entire Comm Week committee. Now, for the big winner. To win the flat screen TV, this is why it's important that you really network and you talk to everyone that's around, because you had to go to the Career Center table and just fill out a three-question questionnaire, right? I was trying to find a sophisticated word. But the winner of the flat screen TV, can I get a drum roll, please? Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll.
Who is Rodney Dickens?
Wait, who?
I'm nervous.
Where's Rodney?
Mike.
Rodney's not here. Y'all better call Rodney.
Why y'all trying to figure that out?
All right. So
why y'all trying to figure that out?
Whoever
Did I
got
tell you?
Rodney information, make sure y'all tell Rodney holler at me. I got you. We gonna meet out here. You had something to say, Marcus?
Yeah, while y'all trying to figure out who is Rodney, did I tell y'all the Vibe is on y'all campus? It's a hip-hop station. I program it. He got a show. He got a show. She on the show. We in our campaign. We got access. Come see me after this. All right? Monday through Friday. Taylor Show.
Every Saturday.
But if y'all could please tell Rodney, please contact us. He won a flat screen. He just won this 40-inch flat screen. And at this time, we like to resume the mixer portion. Y'all been sitting next to each other. Y'all been smelling that chicken and waffles on each other's breath. Y'all should be close now. So we are gonna resume our mixer portion. If everyone could meet out in the foyer, and we're gonna continue a good time here at the International Communication Week. And I would also like to give a special shout out to PV, you know, the radio station, our sister station.
They are in here. Where they at?
Hey, they came in here deep.
And we will be having.
Don't
get kicked out now. Don't get
Hold on.
Don't get kicked out now.
TS. Hey.
Y'all please stay around for the film
TV,
festival.
don't start nothing, it won't be nothing.
Wait.
Make sure y'all
please
follow
stay
True
around.
Tuesday.
Cut the mics off.
I like to pour into the community. Follow True Tuesday.